Hey there. Welcome to All Things Social Security. I'm Stephanie Joy. Whether you are a first-time viewer, an occasional viewer, a subscriber, or one of the three tiered benefactor members, I want to welcome you and let your video begin. Remember, if you haven't checked out the memberships, it might be something up your alley because it gives you an opportunity for a little more Social Security disability attorney attention if you need it, but don't have representation and don't want to do a full-fledged consultation. Okay, have a great one, guys. Stay tuned. Good morning. It is, we're heading into Thanksgiving week here, guys, 2024. Soon December is going to be upon us and the end of our fiscal year where our taxes will become due. And there's certain things we can't do after December in terms of, making sure we take care of our tax situation for a variety of reasons. So I was just reviewing with somebody, particularly for self-employed people. It used to be this whole motto decades and decades ago that cash is king. And a lot of self-employed people who dealt with cash, they didn't get 1099s. They had their own business, sold their own service. People paid in cash or check. And I think there was like this idea that it was smart, and maybe not such a big deal legally, which I think is incorrect, but to not report that because, hey, I didn't get a 1099 or a W-2 on that income, so I don't have to report it. And it's even servers and such, because as we know, at least as of now, servers, waitresses, waiters, bartenders, their tips, cash tips, are supposed to be taxed. And of course, that was probably not done very often. They just kind of go in the pocket. But cash being king and not paying the taxes on cash income, particularly if it's your bread and butter and it's a significant portion, is really going to come and bite some people in the butt. I see it all the time when they are not insured for Social Security disability, sometimes not even for retirement, because they didn't pay the taxes on the income that they kind of concealed, pardon me, for obvious reasons. I mean, taxes are too high. I totally get that. But they don't realize that if you don't pay the taxes, those taxes, part of the taxes you pay, the self-employment tax, for instance, goes towards your premiums for Social Security for later. That would be both Social Security disability and Social Security retirement and all those dependent benefits your family might get. So when we don't acknowledge this income and pay the appropriate tax on that, and that would be, again, the self-employment tax, not the income tax. As you know, even like, a married couple with $25,000 of income is not going to pay any federal income tax because that's already part of that expanded deduction that the Trump administration back in 2017 brought in. I think it effectuated in 2018. And that still exists for this year. And hopefully it will be extended because I think it expires in 2025. But anyway, so right now it's the only tax you're paying if you acknowledge your cash income is the self-employment tax and or if you have state or local taxes, depending on what state you choose to live in, but not federal. So on the low, if it's under a certain amount, that under that deduction amount, that part is not taxed. So if you go with cash is king and you don't, aside from other rules you're violating, I mean, seriously, you may find yourself like I have met many, many people who have become disabled now, and they were working for years under the table, cash is king, not exactly legal that way. And now they are without Social Security insurance benefits that would cover them in this time of disability. So I'm going to attach I spoke about this a couple of years ago, the cash is king business. And as we're at year end, I just think everybody needs to give more solid thought to that strategy of not paying in at all costs, because so many people become disabled before they are of retirement age. Not to mention, if you don't pay in, you're not going to have the retirement. Or when you get there, you're going to be shocked when it's $500 a month because that's all you ever reported in terms of paying Social Security taxes. So I don't think it's the wisest thing in this day and age with the level of disability that we see. I don't even know what the numbers are now. Is it a third of us are going to be needing disability before we are old enough to even get retirement? But again, we might not even have decent retirement from Social Security if we avoided paying tax on our solid working income. So take a listen on that older one if you want. I'll attach it right here. And think twice about not reporting taxes or writing off everything you can possibly write off to bring those taxes lower, because it's going to hurt your bottom line later when you most need it. And I know there's different viewpoints on that, and that's all can be valid in terms of, do you write off every possible business expense? Do you not? I get it. But just remember that what you report and pay the Social Security taxes on is what you're going to be eating off of later. So the cheaper you go there, the cheaper you're going against yourself later. Just saying. All right. Bye, guys. Hey, so if the subject matter of the video you just listened to is of interest and you want more on it, stay tuned. Here's another one about the same topic, but a little bit different. Bye now. Hi. Just a quick, another quick one today. This is about the old saying that cash is king. When it comes to, at some point, needing to rely on Social Security, whether it is retirement or you become disabled and can't work until 62 or 66 or 67, and you need to file for your Social Security, the Social Security Administration is going to have to determine if you're insured at all for Social Security. And the only way you become insured is by working, engaging in work activity, and paying taxes on the work activity. It doesn't come from investment income or gifts or anything like that, or gambling income. It's all working income. So if you, let's say, have a business and you literally after taxes don't pay Social Security, FICA taxes, or any other kind of related tax, and that could be legitimate. I mean, you made X amount and your legitimate business expenses ate it all up, you're going to have zero tax income for Social Security purposes. And as a result, you're going to have no credits for that year. In order to have retirement, you have to have 40 credits earned over your lifetime. That's the equivalent of, in a kind of a nutshell, 10 years of work. You don't have to work amazing hours or make a lot of income to get those credits. In fact, generally about $6,000 a year right now is going to get you your 4 credits for the year. So you need 10 such years, or you could have 20 years where you only earn 2 each. It doesn't matter for retirement purposes. For Social Security, it has to be more recently preceding the time that you claim to have become disabled and unable to work. So if you are self-employed, writing a lot off, or going with the cash is king motto and not reporting cash payments, you're going to find that you might not have your credits needed to even be insured for Social Security disability. On top of the fact that you need that for insured status, the amount you report and pay taxes on, as painful as it is, and I get that, is also going to affect how much you're going to receive in benefit. So it's literally what you give is what you get. Social Security is not a welfare program. It is an insurance program, and what you pay in is what you get out. So keep that in mind when you, if you are inclined to roll with the old-fashioned cash is king. So while in some ways cash is king, not when it comes to this. So be really wary. I have multiple times have represented people for SSI because they didn't have Social Security disability insured status. And if they had not written off as many, let's say, legitimate business expenses on self-employment, that wouldn't have been the case. So just keep that in mind. Sometimes you don't need to take all those write-offs, and you can speak to your accountant about it. But if you think you might be heading towards disability, you might want to think twice about how much of the tax provisions you want to embrace, if it's going to affect that. So you might want to look at that bottom line there first. Okay, so cash is not always king. That's the lesson of the day. Thanks for clicking and learning, and I'll catch you later. Bye.